Fresh Baked, it is time for our monthly State of Disneyland report. We're going to look at the crowds, look at the queues, talk about what's new, what's happening as we tour the entire park, every land, every attraction. And as I begin this report, I will let you know first that it is a Saturday afternoon. We've made it here again for another Saturday. Luck be in our favor this weekend, trying to get a reservation. And I can say that just walking down Main Street right now, it does feel pretty busy. It feels pretty busy today. And I feel like that's kind of both unexpected and expected. It is a Saturday after all, but the parks have still been quite slow. You know what, before we get into that, let's talk about accessibility, which is something that we try to do as we make our way down Main Street on these reports. It's the same story that we discussed last month, in that Disney is still manipulating the reservation system, which is a conversation that we could have as well. We've already put out a video recently about some of the news that has happened recently, some of the updates that are going on around the parks about Disney looking to change the reservation system at Walt Disney World. No changes yet here at Disneyland, but Walt Disney World is experiencing some major renovations to the program this coming year in 2024. They're sticking with it here. They are still using that system. You look at the reservation counter for single-day tickets, and you cannot buy one for today, which is the opposite of how Southern Californians, locals tend to visit this park, although most locals here have an annual pass, which we'll get to in a second. But it is the same trend that we've observed for a couple months now, and that it is getting more difficult to book a ticket for today or even tomorrow. I think the single-day ticket calendar right now is just for today. You can't get a ticket, and then there are a few sold-out days for Disneyland Start, but you can get a DCA ticket for any other day. Meanwhile, the reservations for Magic Keys, it is still difficult to make reservations week of with the Magic Key. We're looking at the Inspire Key here for May. Still very difficult to get a reservation for the week of, except for the day of. It's often quite easy, like it is today, to get a reservation for today or probably for tomorrow as well. Although, tomorrow is open, although it was booked when I looked at it last night. Monday, however, is booked, you'll see. That's 2 days from now. Now, if I were to come back and look at that calendar again tomorrow, Monday will be available. It has been that way. That's been the trend for going on a couple months now. And the purpose of that, as we discussed last month, is they are trying to incentivize, to encourage Magic Key holders to make the spontaneous day of visit, but keep them out of the park. They don't want them to plan. They don't want you to make plans for this week, because they want to leave those this week dates open for single-day ticket and Magic or multi-day ticket holders. Now, they can't get one for today, but they shouldn't be looking. Single-day ticket holders, by Disney's logic, shouldn't be looking for a ticket today. They should be looking for a ticket tomorrow or a few days after, or something to that effect. So that is still ongoing. Disney is still using the reservation system to control crowds in that way. So with that, we'll start heading for our first destination, as is our custom, Adventureland. And let's observe, while we're doing this, that we're here at just about the peakiest time you can get on a given day. And that's a Saturday. It's about 3 o'clock, that's just pretty much peak right there. The morning crowds are still here, and the evening crowds are getting here now at this point. So the two, of the Venn diagram of when you come to the park, this is where the two join. I mentioned that because I can feel a lot of pressure already walking down Main Street and around the hub and now into Adventureland. But this is, not indicative of how things are all day. That's a conversation we have often when I do these State of Disneyland reports. And I'm like, this is not how it is forever. This is how it is today. And right now, we can come back here in a couple hours and it won't look anything like this. But it is helpful. It's useful to look at this and maybe compare it to other Saturdays and things of that nature to get a sense of, how things are going. And what I can tell you, as we switch back, is that things are picking up here at Disneyland. The crowds, what I've noticed, the trend that I've noticed as the weeks have progressed, is that there are fewer really slow days. And by slow, that's an interesting conversation to have when it comes to Disneyland, because there's truly no slow days, but there are some days that are slower than others, obviously. There are fewer of those. They're really, it's starting to get to the point where it's busy almost all the time. Oh God, they're doing it to me again. You guys, the smell of Bengal barbecue right now is magnificent. Okay, so we'll take our first drive-by of Jungle Cruise. Our first attraction, posted wait time says 40 minutes. And that's probably accurate. I can look at the upstairs queues. They're using both halves, although just a little bit of the top half, not the entirety of the top half, which does suggest to me about a 40-minute wait. Meanwhile, right next door, Indiana Jones. 45 minutes. The last couple times I've been on this attraction, the last couple times that I've been through here and looked, it's been over an hour, 75 minutes. 45 at this point in the day, as I just got done saying, my goodness, it's a Saturday afternoon peak time. This is when everybody's here. And Indiana Jones is 45 minutes while Jungle Cruise is 40. You just never can tell. Interesting scene right here as we turn around and look at Pirates. There's no queue at the top of the bridge, which suggests to me that it is probably closed. It's looking very closed from here also. And the cast members out front tell the same story. Look at that. Wow, 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 wow. I mean, I guess it helps that Pirates is closed, but this, you never see this. My goodness. Here, you see a lot of open space on this path going towards New Orleans Square, but the left side is always bonkers, assuming Pirates is open. It is not, so people are just walking by, but still, that just seems surprising to me. It should, even still, with Pirates closed, it should be more people right here. I heard somebody mention on the live stream that they moved the parrot in Pirates. The parrot at the the beginning of the queue before you get on board. That parrot is now by the Dirty Foot Pirate. I have to I'm not going to be able to verify that today, but look for our What's New video or possibly a construction video, one of those two or both. I'm going to verify that. That feels like big news that they've moved a parrot. Hi, how are you? I don't know, doesn't it? Okay, so this has gotten interesting. Pirates is closed. So too is Blue Bayou. So it's not a mechanical fail. It's not a ride failure. There's some. She said the whole area is shut down just now. You heard her. They've also closed. Oh no, it's not. It's still open. Well, yeah, it's still open. I was gonna say these doors are closed right here, but this door right here is open for Eudora's, the Tiana gift shop. Interesting. I wonder what that could be. Hey guys. Like I said, that's not a mechanical failure. That's not a ride failure. That's something else. Maybe kitchen? Could be kitchen? So I took a break and pulled over a little bit over by the Julep Bar so I could capture a little footage there of the Disneyland Railroad. And I observed, as I often do when I come back in this, oh look, it's just a tuba player, no big deal. This is, oh there we go, there's the rest of them. Hello, hi guys. It's just for us. Anyway, this area back here is super congested. If Disney ever had plans, designs on doing, you guys remember Stardust, Project Stardust, back then when they were building Galaxy's Edge? At the same time, they were doing Project Stardust, which was just an array of updates to the park to make it a little bit more guest friendly. They lowered the curbs in some places. They cut out, they trimmed off a little bit, planter box here or there, to make the pathways more accessible, a little bit more breathable, because they were expecting huge crowds for for Galaxy's Edge. It didn't happen, but anyway, that was the reason for Project Stardust, and it was happening all over the park. They were just refreshing things up. Remember the walls down the middle of Main Street? The walls down the middle of Main Street? Oh my gosh. If they were planning on doing that again, this space back here, the space on the backside of the mid-julep bar, that, you know, where the restrooms are, in Club 33, this is the narrowest, most unnavigable place in the entire park, or one of them. Got to be top 5 at least. And there's a huge planter back here, and I just, for whatever reason, as I'm standing here, I'm like, this is, if we're gonna do stuff, this might be the kind of place where you could trim off a few feet of this planter, you know, knock down the planter wall and put up a new one, but cut it back a couple feet, set it back in, and you've got, it would make so much difference back here in this little pathway. It would make so much difference. It makes things so much more navigable and less intense feeling. And of course, as I shoot that B-roll of the path back there wasn't that many people back there. There were when I was walking through, but then as soon as I wanted to get some pickup shots, they all vanished. And it looks like, hi guys, there's some fans right there. They're all full of that train. The fans have vanished. The guests have vanished here from Haunted Mansion. It's just you, me, and that duck right here in this extended queue. I think he needs to fill all available space. Duck, let's go. But yeah, the Haunted Mansion is, look at how briskly the standby group is moving through the queue right there. That's always a lovely sight when you can see a bunch of people moving briskly on the standby side and hardly anybody in the Lightning Lane queue, which is to the guests' right as they walk forward. It's on our left as we look at this. But that's a pretty nice, you know what, I'm gonna guess, let's go drive by the wait time posted out here. I'm gonna say 30 minutes. Gosh, look at, this is almost practically delightful. I can't remember the last time I've seen a crowd uncrowded like this, especially considering down the way that Pirates of the Caribbean is still closed. Under normal circumstances, I would predict that the guests would flow over from Pirates into Haunted Mansion, but then again, as I was just looking, I think I saw a smattering of people in a queue, so Pirates may have reopened. That says, oh my gosh, 15 minutes. You could have won so much money off of me making a bet that it would have been a 15-minute queue. There's no way. Haunted Mansion on a Saturday at 3 o'clock and 15 minutes. What is happening to the through line of the story for this day? I start off one direction and it completely goes bonkers on me. I held that shot, that little B-roll shot of the standby wait time for a solid 10 seconds. And it took 10 seconds for anybody besides the cast member to walk into frame. That's wild! Oh my God, it'll pick up. Wow, look at! That's the queue for Splash Mountain. It's a warm day, you guys. It's a warm day, and I'm backing up, and it says 30 minutes. I mean, it's not cold out. It's not cold. It's not hot. It's like high 70s, plenty warm enough to enjoy Splash Mountain. They are. What is happening? Look it! I have to take back everything I said. Okay, let's go jump into Critter Country and see how this develops, because I'm just so curious how it could go from one way, because it felt positively busy walking down Main Street and around Town Square, and then as soon as we got into we saw a 45-minute standby for Indiana Jones, 15 for Haunted Mansion. The train was a walk-on. Splash Mountain is 30. Hi guys, you too. Looks like who is, oh my, I thought it was closed. Holy heck. I saw nobody in the queue. I'm like, okay, it's closed. 5 minutes. 5 minutes, and it's not even that. That's like as low as it can go. They can't. They probably don't have a number lower than 5 to put on that board because it's empty. Hey, let's go on a ride, honey. Yeah. Did you guys know I had a co-host today? Hi, hello, co-host. She's been coming with us a lot. We got her an Inspire key. I don't know if I mentioned that, but we got her an Inspire key, so she comes with us often, especially if we're short a parent. You know, if I'm doing something and that Liz needs to go to the park or something, she'll take the baby. We're chopping it up.
We'll take a picnic. Is what you got. What a wonderful dream. Present. Oh, fun.
Looks like things have picked up here in Critter Country since we took a little drive through the 100-acre wood. The standby queue out here doubled. I wonder if it has extended out yet onto the path there. Sure enough, incredible. It's not been but 20 minutes since we were out here. Hi guys. It hasn't been, maybe 20 minutes. Winnie the Pooh we walked straight on, 5 minutes on the ride, right? And then maybe 15 minutes. Sophia and I just we were messing around at Pooh Corner, doing a little shopping. Didn't film it, but that's what we were doing. We were in there for about 20 minutes. There you go, 50 minutes. Now I'm tempted to go check out Haunted Mansion. We're right here. Let's go look at the standby board for Haunted Mansion. Well, Haunted Mansion is closed. But look at this. I've already figured it out, you guys. I feel dumb for not even noticing this to begin with. But, you know, the crowds are back here in the little pathway between New Orleans Square and Critter Country. And so the pressure's back. I would say that if you were to get in that queue right now and if it was moving, Haunted Mansion would be, 45 minutes, 30, 45 minutes. But it's 3:30. It's the parade was happening. Magic Happens was happening while we were walking through New Orleans Square in Critter Country, and it ended while we were in the 100-acre wood with Winnie the Pooh. And when we got out, they're all those people that were on Main Street on the corridor. And now, they've repopulated the park. So I feel kind of silly. I just hope that time, the march of time, nor the desire for the next great thing, the next new toy or whatever, I hope that never strikes, that never has any impact on the rivers of America and attractions like the Davy Crockett canoes. May the Davy Crockett canoes live forever. So far, so quiet here at Galaxy's Edge. I have Rivers of America on the brain. Rise of the Resistance looks quite mellow as we drive by. That's a very light queue. Stand by. Are we back to this again? Am I going to lose my ish again? Okay, so I don't see much in the way of lightning lane over there. Let's play the game. I'm going to say that is they're not going to post it under an hour. I'm going to say it's 60 because I think they are loath to post any standby wait time under an hour for Rise. Man, I was just wrong on so many levels just now. That says 30 minutes. So I was wrong about the time, although I did think it was less than 60, but I would have said maybe 40 or 45. But that I was wrong about them being loath to post. A 30-minute wait time. You never see 30-minute wait time posted for Rise of the Resistance, but there it is. That's the whole queue right there. I'd be willing to guess that by the time we get to our next destination, which is Docking Bay 7, to sit down and look at the tip board and enjoy a Tatooine sunset, I'd be willing to guess by the time we get there that wait time will no longer be 30 minutes. That it'll be probably closer to 45, maybe an hour even. It's already too late. It's already too late, you guys. I can see people walking briskly trying to get in the queue right now. You see 30 minutes on the wait time on the tip board, and it's going to draw a whole bunch of people. But if you're on the other side of the park, it's going to take you 10 or 15 minutes to get there. it's too late. You know, it'll still be less than average. It'll still be a short-ish ride or queue for Rise, but it's already too late for 30 minutes. It'll take us about 10 or 15 minutes, just as long as it would take to walk over here. It'll take us that long to get down to the tip board, or to get down to Document 7 and look at the tip board. But I'm gonna guess it'll be closer to 60 minutes than it is 30. Like that right there, see that? I had just stopped rolling, and those two said, we've got to get going, we've got to get on, because they saw it, and that's what's happening. You can see just, you know, a sea of folks try to get there, just do the sprint, the Rise of Resistance 30-minute standby sprint. Docking Bay 7, got our Tatooine Sunset. I think I need to start ordering 2 of these.
Hey, what are you doing?
Oh, nothing. What are you doing?
Oh, nothing?
Wow, okay. Alice in Wonderland, 25. Astral Orbiter, 15. Autopia, 10, with a return time in 10 minutes. Big Thunder, 45, with a return time of now. Buzz Light, this is just so normal, actually below normal. I have not seen any extended wait times yet. Buzz Lightyear, 15, return time of now. Casey's, 20. It's weird seeing Toontown attractions back on the tip board. But last time we did this, Chippendale's Gadget Go Coaster, or Gadget Coaster, was an hour. Today it is 25. We'll be going to Toontown in a little bit. Davy Crockett is 25. Okay, Dumbo the Flying Elephant, 20 minutes. Nemo, 25. We'll put that to the test later. There's Haunted Mansion again at 30 minutes. Haunted Mansion, 25. I thought that would be a little higher, considering, you know, when we were there last, there was quite a backup. Return time for an hour, but that may have more to do with the breakdown than anything else. There we go. Space Mountain, 85 minutes. Hyperspace Mountain, that is, with a return time of 5 hours. Wow, okay, so that's the one outlier, one so far. Indiana Jones, 65 minutes with a return time of 6 hours. There's 2! Although, I don't know, the 65-minute isn't so bad, but the 6-hour return time for Lightning Lane is pretty out there. Small World is a total walk-on, either via... Why would anybody use Lightning Lane for Small World right now? Jungle Cruise is 15. It actually went down from the 40 minutes we saw earlier today. Carousel, 5. Mad Tea Party, 15. Let's see. Winnie the Pooh is now 15. It was 5 when we went down there. Runaway Railway is less than an hour with a return time of now. Are they still selling individual Lightning Lane for that? Why do I feel like that shouldn't be the... Stop selling individual Lightning Lane, Disney. Nobody's buying it. Nobody. not for Runaway Railway. Okay, Smuggler's Run, 30 minutes. We'll check on that in a second. With a return time of now. Oh, it's right. We got to look out for Rise of Resistance. Mr. Toads is 15. Peter Pan, 35. Pinocchio, 10. All standard. Pirates, 20. It reopened. Roger Rabbit is an hour with a return time of 6:20. Does better business, or as good a business, as Runaway Railway. Snow White is 10. Splash. Wow, that went from 30 to 80. And a return time of 3.5 hours from now. Star Tours virtual walk-on. There it is. Rise of the Resistance, 65 minutes. So it took about 20 minutes for it to double in wait time. But the return time, I also predicted would be now. That is still the case. People are not buying Lightning Lane. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Sure enough, 30 minutes for Smuggler's Run. I can look up into that window, and I can see a lot of people standing there in the window. So it's certainly not less than that. But look at this complete emptiness. It is Star Wars month still. Look at that. They're doing the thing that I've been asking for. They've got Rey posted up there. This is becoming more of a regular thing. Good to see. I mean, I wasn't expecting the hype for Star Wars to last the entire month, but you know, it was just Star Wars Day last week, and there's hardly anybody here. Like, well, hardly, relatively speaking. Normally, this little common area that we're out here in front of is just filled with people getting their pictures taken. I mean, look at the frame right now. I can't make up my mind what's happening here at Galaxy's Edge. I can't, or at Disneyland, I should say. We keep hitting high peaks and valleys, and is it busy or not? I don't know. I don't know. So let's talk for a minute about individual Lightning Lane, not Genie Plus, but individual Lightning Lane, because I'm just waiting for the time for them to just give up. Just give up already, because I feel like maybe they could sell more Genie Plus. I wonder, dudes, if you're buying, I don't know, I don't buy Genie Plus myself ever, but is it one or the other? How many of you out there are buying Genie Plus and an individual Lightning Lane? How many of you are doing both? Because I feel like people have just come to accept that Rise of Resistance is what it is. That's the one attraction that might still sell Lightning Lane, but you look at those, I hardly ever see anything beyond now for individual Lightning Lane. And that's gotta mean something. That's gotta mean that they're not selling any? I don't know. you look at the, you know what? When we were at, that's Genie Plus, never mind. That's not individual Lightning Lane. I was thinking of Smuggler's Run and how the entire queue was full of people buying with Lightning Lane, but that's Genie Plus. Individual Lightning Lane, paid Lightning Lane. I don't know, man. Is it hurting business? Could they make up, if they stopped selling individual Lightning Lane and just made everything Genie Plus, could they make up whatever revenue they lost with the individual Lightning Lane? Could they make that up in more sales of Genie Plus? And in the process, it would make the queue so much more fluid. And it would also make the park a more simple place to visit. It removes a layer of complexity that is so unnecessary. That whole idea of individual Lightning Lane, just never sat well with me. Sure, they're making extra revenue, but it's costing them elsewhere. So what is the point? If it's affecting, and by that I just mean in the short term too. So many guests, they're gonna choose the Lightning Lane and so they're gonna opt out of, a piece of merchandise or a treat. You know what I mean? It's that simple. It's that simple. And they've had enough time to sort of do the math on that, create some kind of algorithm to figure out where that all fits together. I can't imagine they're making that much so as to sacrifice the quality of our experience in the parks. How's it going? Hey. Thanks, honey. I wonder, because I feel like that argument, the conversation that I'm having, is more applicable to Walt Disney World than it is here at Disneyland, because there is a greater percentage of locals and pass holders who don't buy either anyway. So it doesn't affect us as badly as it does Walt Disney World, and that's why perhaps Walt Disney World is experiencing the changes that are coming up in January, where they're doing away with, a large part of the reservation system. They're giving people or are probably looking at giving people the opportunity to book Genie Plus reservations in advance. I don't think that's it. I don't think they've gone far enough, and I think they will go further. And maybe by the time January 9th rolls around, when those new policies become in effect, watch Walt Disney World and watch the changes that are happening there. It won't happen here right away, but eventually that is going to be the case. I do feel like we are seeing plenty of momentum in the direction of no more reservation system and rolling back Genie Plus to something that's more like the way it used to be here with the Max Pass, and over at Disney World with the Fast Pass Plus. Soapbox segment complete. I got to loop back around because I was all the way to Snow White by the time I finished that. Let's check out these Fantasyland dark rides. I'm not expecting any surprises here. Pinocchio looks like it's just outside the door. Of late, it's been out here extended quite a bit, but not today. Snow White is looking quite manageable also. That's a 30-minute wait tops. You like it when it's not out here in the garden. Peter Pan said 30, or was it 35 on the tip board? I'm going to say that's probably closer to 40. But still par, total par for Peter Pan, right? Like, I would take this, because right there's an opening, right? I would take that. That's a win. Anytime you see open queue space in Peter Pan, you're ahead of the game. Toads, very, very manageable also. That's a 15-minute wait tops. Not even that, that's 10. Dumbo is posted at 25. Looks a little bit popular back there, but it could be worse. My favorite. My favorite. Try the transition out. This little section of Fantasyland is always very anxiety-inducing. Okay. Monorail. Sophie always draws attention from the cast. Next is my new favorite pastime. Checking in on Toontown and to see if it's still busy and to see if anything is broken or needs repair. I can tell already that this is significantly lighter than it has been on previous visits, especially for a late afternoon Saturday. That's lovely. Oh, you can almost walk through here. You can almost walk through. This is great. Wow. I haven't had to stop and redirect at all so far, which is a thing. You know, you gotta navigate all the other bodies that are along your path. This is kind of lovely. Let's go this way. I always go the other way. Let's go this way around to Minnie's house. Still drawing a crowd, she is. 45-minute wait for Minnie. 30 for Mickey. Looks like there is quite a bit of wait there for gadgets. I can see the back of the queue. If you can see the back of the queue, like right there, that's usually a sign it's a longer wait. Sign says 30 minutes. The queue for gadgets is kind of interesting because on the one hand it's quick because the ride's so short, but on the other hand it's not because they only have one vehicle. They only ever have one vehicle. So you gotta wait for somebody to board, ride, and then deboard before you can push the next cycle. So you do a lot of standing, but there's, you know, but it's quick. It's still quick. It's funny. Anyway, Goofy's house is still a lot of mayhem going on in there. My gosh, wow. It's just so much better, you guys. This Goofy's house is so much better than the old Goofy's house was. Let's do a quick drive-by Runaway Railway. I love the marquee. I love the facade for Runaway Railway. It's perfect for the new Toontown. Perfect. It fits in here just perfectly. Did I say that enough? You can't see it, but I can. 55 minutes standby, which probably isn't even that long because we know that there's no lightning lanes being sold, individual lightning lanes, and there's no queue out here. I've tested it. I've timed it. The door is 45. So just getting inside the door, I mean, there's no way. It's not 55, it's not even 45, it's probably closer to 35 or 40. Use that. If the standby queue at the door is 45 minutes, give or take. It all depends on Lightning Lane. But if you see Lightning Lane, for now, that's another thing you should be doing when you're parking. You're wondering if you're going to get affected by individual Lightning Lane. Well, Genie Plus for that matter. If the return times are for now, that means that there's not a lot of backup. If the return times are for 5 hours from now, like they are for Indy and Space Mountain, then you can expect to be waiting quite a bit for those Lightning Lane guests to get cycled through. Guys, remember we checked out that tip board for Small World. We saw it was 5 minutes with no Lightning Lane. We're just going right on here. For this little one, of course. Walk right on. Not even 5 minutes.
Please remain seated until your boat comes to a complete stop at the dock and you are asked to disembark. Thank you.
ボートが完全に止まり、下船していただく指示が出されるまでは席を立たないでください。ご協力ありがとうございます。Por favor, permanezca sentado hasta que el bote se detenga en el muelle y se le pida que desembarque. Gracias.
It's so tall.
Bis es zu einem vollständigen Halt kommt und Sie gebeten werden, aufzustehen. Danke.
She took the phone.
Please remain seated until the boat comes
It's
to
a
a complete
ducky.
stop at the
And
dock
our
and you are asked
rhinoceros.
to disembark. Thank you.
Do you see the rhinoceros?
Veuillez rester assis jusqu'à
Yeah.
Oh, I tell you what, I might have to start bringing little Sophia with me more often because it's changing the way that I do the park now. I mean, I'm looking for reasons to take breaks and jump on the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh and It's a Small World and other things as well. It's a nice little diversion from the work part of the afternoon. It's like going to Disneyland. But having said that, our work continues. We need to head over here towards the Matterhorn, which is coming back on June 5th. That's about, 3 weeks from now? Follow us on our construction updates to find out what, if anything, is happening. I mean, as it happens, nothing at all. That's facing us anyway. I mean, they are working on stuff in there, but it's nothing important, or nothing that we would notice, I should say. It is important, but it's all interiors. Have I ever mentioned how much I like bubbles? Oh, look, monorail. Monorail. Have I ever mentioned how much I love getting bubbles in the shot? I love bubbles at Disneyland. There's a lot of it. Go ahead and check off Finding Nemo Lagoon shot off on our bingo card for today. We only got 2 bingos today. The Tatooine Sunset and the Finding Nemo. I didn't make a comment, or I didn't shoot any acoustic shot of the tea party, the Mad Tea Party. What other bingo elements are there on our State of Disneyland report bingo cards, I wonder? Nemo looks to be about 45. Just a lovely day here. It's just been delightful. Just soaking in it right now. Invariably, this is what happens when I do these reports, is that I get to Tomorrowland and I just start to soak it in. Incredible. The wait time for Hyperspace Mountain is approximately 45 minutes. What happened to 85? They must have cleared all of those lightning lanes and then they didn't sell anymore, I guess. Okay, so what, you know what it is? They're selling out. They're almost gone. Right? Because it was 10 o'clock. No, there's no way. No, I don't know what that is. If they were almost sold out when we checked the tip board. Space Mountain was like at 10 o'clock. The return time was 10 o'clock. By now, they probably have come close to it anyway. So they've got lightning lane for the rest of the evening. So why the big dip, I wonder? That's interesting. Is it just that people just avoided it, I guess? I mean, that's reasonable. You see 85 minutes for space, you're just, you know what, I'll just wait. I'll try it later. I'll try it tonight or something. I don't know. I gotta look back at this beautiful day.
It's worth the money. Nice buy dinner.
Look at that, Star Tours is a walk-on. There's no queue whatsoever. But Buzz Lightyear's got a little bit of wait. 20 minutes posted, but that queue looks pretty lengthy, and so does the Lightning Lane queue. Fascinating. This fascinates me. No way that's 20 minutes. That's 30 or 40. For those of you who subscribe to the theory that Disney is always overestimating the standby wait times, that is not the case. They could be wrong. The wait times could be wrong, but that doesn't mean they're doing it with intent. Because explain this. That's not 20 minutes, I'm sorry to say. The pre-show glow at the hub and Main Street. This State of Disneyland report has quickly evolved into an acoustic video of me just walking around, and I'm here for it. $35. Okay. What is, I cannot wait to sum up this day. 35 minutes for Big Thunder. That's incredible. I mean, the queue's sticking out here quite a bit, though. But you know, we measured it. Well, I did that queue from almost that exact point, and it was 40 minutes. But that was with a pretty healthy lightning lane. Something we talked about in a trip report earlier this week, or last week, I don't remember. They've moved the merge point. The merge point used to be right around the corner of this rock formation there, right as you cross under the bridge where the trains enter the station. Now it's on the other side over there, right about where the little TNT box is on the other side. And they did that, I think, so that so Lightning Lane guests don't walk by here and see a bunch of people in the queue. It's just optically, it doesn't look great. Because we've been here many times where the Lightning Lane queue was all the way out here and there was nobody in the standby queue. And now it's back, this is the way it should be. This is the way it should look. Standby like this, Lightning Lane, people just walking on. So what is the State of Disneyland for this May of 2023? I'd say it's pretty chill. It's pretty chill. It's pretty consistent and standard, not too high, not too low. This being, the middle of May right now, we're starting to, ease into the busier seasons, but they've still managed to keep things at a minimum. I've never felt, just when we first got here, did it feel any kind of pressure, but since then I have not really felt any at all. It's just a lovely place to be right now. Disneyland is. Yeah, it's busy, but it always is. But everything is manageable. Everything is manageable. Even the busiest rides are manageable. I did a 75-minute wait Actually, no, it was quicker than that. But I did, Indiana Jones last week. It wasn't so bad. Indiana Jones is a kick-ass queue. So, Disneyland is what it has always been today. Nothing is really outstanding. We're just kind of all standing by, though, I would say, for changes to happen. We talked about the reservation system and Genie Plus a little bit earlier with respect to what's happening at Walt Disney World. When that's going to happen here, who can say? But one thing I can say, I'm 100% confident in saying is that it won't happen here first. So if they're talking about January 9th, 2024, for even just minimal reservations at Walt Disney World, it's not going to happen here before then. So we're going to happen after that. So you're looking at, how's it going? We're looking at, at least a year away. Unless something drastic happens, but I doubt it. Disneyland's been so consistent, even in spite of all the problems that they're having, Disneyland's been so consistent that I don't expect things to change much between now and a year from now. So it's going to be at least that long before we see any changes to the reservation system or to Genie Plus. And with that, we're going to walk it out, hopefully with a nice leisurely stroll down Main Street, although it's parade time nearly. We're leaving. Hey, how are you? Just before the parade starts. So there's a lot of activity here on Main Street. That's my girl. Wow. The pre-show glow of Town Square. Look out! And the baby is gone. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Respect.